Godlike Burger is a cooking sim slash serial killer time management game set in a greasy hamburger restaurant in space. The story is that you are running a hamburger restaurant with the finest dirty alien clientele, and you realize that the most efficient business model is to use your customers as meat. I mean, you are what you eat, right? And apparently your customers are aliens made of hamburgers that are made of aliens. Anyway, think of this as two games that are very well integrated with a very weird premise. On one side you have Overcooked or Cook Serve Delicious, in which customers make orders for meals of increasing complexity, and you have a limited time to prepare the orders to get paid, earn tips, and to increase the prestige of your restaurant through reviews by satisfied customers. The weird premise is that the only way to get meat in this game is to selectively kill your customers and process them into hamburgers, and thus you have a stealthy murder game layered on top of a cooking sim. Each day you have a wave of customers in which you will try to keep up with orders, find opportunities to quietly off some customers to keep the meat freezer stocked, and avoid suspicion of other customers. At the end of each day, you'll have access to a robust system of upgrades, which includes a list of upgrades for your character, new recipes and ingredients, building and improving traps, increasing efficiency of your cooking equipment, and developing new sauces with sinister effects that will get your customers right where you want them. Between days, you can also pay bills, which you should do, or the loan officers will come to have a talk with you. You can stash your money in a safe, which will stay there even if you die, and travel to other unlocked planets. Once you complete tasks on each planet, you'll unlock new planets full of different customers with more refined tastes and bigger wallets, new dangers like meteor showers, and a higher or lower police presence. Then you're off to another day of cook, serve, kill, and repeat. During the killing part, you have to be very careful to not be observed in the act or while covered in blood, or the aliens will get suspicious. Some species will attack you immediately, while others run away to call a police raid, but in any case it is highly recommended to just not get caught. It's also very useful to collect information about each alien species, their tastes, behaviors, and strengths. You can buy this information or piece it together through trial and error, for example while trying to turn a new species into hamburger only to discover that they can instantly turn you into a pancake. Once you figure all that out, it's time to turn your restaurant into a cash printing machine. So that tells you what this game has to offer. The only question is, should you play it? But first, you should know that this game is completely free right now for a limited time from the Epic Game Store during the week starting October 5th, 2023. Just claim it, add it to your library, and install it whenever you feel a little sadistic or snacky or both. The Epic Game Store gives away big and small games every week, and we play and review all of them. So subscribe to always know which ones are worth your time. Now I must admit that I was very skeptical of this game when it was first announced by the Epic Game Store, but much to my surprise, I quickly saw the appeal. It is definitely very unique, but it has a lot of thought that went into it. Some might say a little too much thought. Now I love the Overcooked games, and this felt like that but with an entirely new game layered on top of it, making the time management and multitasking even more challenging and engaging. There are just so many ways to spend your money and so many systems to think about. For example, because of the overlapping systems, you learn quickly to murder the unsatisfied customers or those with orders you can't fill, while trying to get good reviews from the species that tip more when satisfied, as long as you can get all this done without making a mistake that could result in anything from a bad review to a police raid that will probably leave you dead. All of this is good, but there are two problems. One is the pacing, because almost all of these mechanics get thrown at you from the very beginning, which means that the gameplay loop starts to feel pretty repetitive and directionless pretty soon. It would have been great to introduce the mechanics and upgrade options gradually so you feel like there's always something new to unlock. Also, there's no clear end goal, and besides buying more upgrades, getting to more planets, or making piles of money, I wasn't quite sure what was supposed to push me through all the horrifying carnage. Maybe the story could have included a reason for revenge on the aliens, like Sweeney Todd, the demon cook of Fleet Street. The second problem is harder to define because it's the entire theme of the game. Of course, the game doesn't take itself seriously and there's a lot of dark humor and silly situations, but it does really lean into the idea of cannibalism and turning sentient beings into meat, which I just found really icky. I mean, it's gross, basically, and that will attract some players and disgust others, but for me personally, I just couldn't have a lot of fun playing this revolting character doing these terrible, gross things. It is a very creative game to be sure, but it's really important to have a sick sense of humor to fully enjoy it. And no judgment if that's you, but for everyone else, I would recommend finding a more tasteful use of your gaming time. If you want a similar game with a much more family-friendly theme, we've also reviewed the Overcooked game, so you can check out those videos next. Let me know in the comments if you have a sick sense of humor so I can tell the police to raid your kitchen just in case. See you next time.